Well, I'm so glad that you're here and you're dropping by at a perfect time because we're doing something kind of momentous as it gets around here anyway, on the channel today. Over the years, I've taken a look at several figures of several different size classes for the Transformers Prime or Transformers Prime Beast Hunters line. A little bit of both. And today, I'm going to present to you the last of the Transformers Prime figures that I have in my personal collection. Actually, I don't have it. One of the scraplets do. And it is, believe it or not Optimus Prime, because I've never looked at the Transformers Prime Optimus Prime here on the channel. But it's the next best thing because it is the Beast Hunters Voyager class Ultra Magnus. And he's going to be our focus in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. It's fantastic that you're here again. Please like, comment, share, of course subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. Have a look for Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, and Transformers Collectors NL. And check me out everywhere. Remember those simple days, simpler times? Because I feel like lately, over the last couple of years really, I have so many reviews that run long because you have things that take up extra time, like Titan Masters and Prime Masters and Prime Armor, and you know, this can be a leg and an arm and a vehicle and a robot. Sometimes it is, and well, it was and still is just fun when you have one thing that just changes into another thing, man. Simplicity can be beautiful as long as the quality of the figure is good. Case in point here with the Beast Hunters version of Ultra Magnus. This is perhaps the most, arguably, screen-accurate adaptation of this character that we got. It is also a little bit intricate in its transformation method. Again, arguably. I like it. It's not mine. It belongs to one of the scraplets, and I thank him for letting me take a look at it. But this kind of caps off the figures in my personal collection, or our personal collection, that we have from the Transformers Prime line, which was a great line overall. Maybe sometimes a little too complicated, but its accuracy, its kind of genius behind the engineering a lot of times, is undeniable. And this guy's absolutely no exception. Anyway, enough of me babbling on about him. Let's head over to the table and take a closer look at him. It feels like it's been a while since I looked at a nice, simple, so to speak, transformer when you have a robot that turns into a thing. Because for the last few years we've had, you know, the combiner limbs and the headmasters, and you know, you can turn into 4 different things and triple changers and everything else. That whatever happened to just the good old days of a robot that turned into another thing? It's also been a while since I looked at an Ultra Magnus. Here we have 2 of them along with the Transformers Prime version, which is the one that we're going to look at. But the Leader Class Ultra Magnus from Combiner Wars, I looked at like a long time ago in episode 77. Boy, not a clue did I have. I looked at my custom Fall of Cybertron Ultra Magnus in episode 113, the deluxe size one here. What's interesting is the little deluxe one here and the Voyager from Transformers Prime Beast Hunters line. I believe they're both from the Aligned Continuity, and I think they're supposed to be the same Ultra Magnus. Why he turned a lighter shade of blue, lost his nose, and grew bigger when he came to Earth, I don't know. Match shifting? I don't know. I even looked at the G1 way back in episode 160. So this was really done for size comparison, and of course coming up sometime soon will be yet another Leader Class version when we have the Siege entry into our Ultra Magni. I don't know. I'm not even sure if that's the plural of Ultra Magnus. But, you know, I dig this. Of course, we've had other versions from other lines over the years, but this is just to give you an idea of where this guy fits in. He is obviously a Voyager class figure, and he does come with a couple of accessories. Now, we don't have a box or instructions or any of that stuff. This isn't mine. Like I said, it belongs to one of the scraplets, and this is my send-off, so to speak, to the Transformers Prime series, lines, whatever you want to call it, because this is the last one that we have here in our personal collection. And I think it's nice to be able to go back to the, like, simple joy of a robot that turns into a vehicle by kind of taking a nostalgic look at the last of the Prime figures that I own. So, accessories really quickly. First and foremost are two of these little friction missile things, and they go placed up there on his shoulder pauldron thing. It can go forward. I guess they could fire straight up, or you could push them from the back and they would come out and fire out of there with not a whole lot of force. I don't really like these. That's why I showed it now, because I'm not leaving them in there. I think it ruins the look of the guy. It's not for me. What is cool and is for me is this. You know, a lot of times it's called the Magnus hammer, but by rights it's the Forge of Solus Prime, and this might be, just to have like a version of this artifact, like it might be worth the price of admission. And it has a 5mm handle, which means any figure that has the ability to hold a 5mm peg, I guess technically could wield the Forge. I guess that means that the Prime Master Solus Prime, which is the size of a Titan Master, can't really do it. There's no way she's holding this thing. But I think this is so cool. There is also, by the way, a 5mm peg right here. That's for storage. And you'll see that in just a few minutes. And lastly, we have this thing. I didn't know what it was at first, but when you pick this up and bring it out to the side, and pick this up and bring it out to the side, hey, it's a flight pack. I feel like it looks like the flight pack Optimus used. Why it came with Magnus, I don't know. Did Magnus ever use it? I don't know. You'll notice though that there is a 5mm hole kind of in the center of it. You can take the Forge or the Magnus hammer and you can place it in there, no problem, for storage. You can bring this down, and we come around to this side. This is how you store it in robot mode. You pick this up and you have a little rectangular lip here and here, and up here and up here. These go down over like the side of his head, like his head is in this cutout space. And then the gray grill section that's behind his head goes sandwiched between these two little rectangular pieces, so that it looks like this from behind. But to give you a more accurate representation of what the actual backpack looks like, here it is with the wing pieces, I guess, splayed out. And we'll do kind of the quick go around here so that you can see it from all sides. There it is from the back with the Forge in it. Wing pieces out. Could you use this on Optimus? Maybe. I don't know. That's a fair question to ask though. So there's that all the way round. Now we can get into the paint apps, the articulation, and the conversion. I'm going to take the backpack off. I'll do that off screen because it's a bit of a nuisance to get off. Like, it's really secure when it's on, but because of how it clips over the, I guess, section behind his head there, which is really the grill of the truck, it's a bit of a nuisance to get off. That being said, once you have it off and the wings put back, I do want to point out one piece of transformation you do here. You fold this all the way up, because in truck mode we're going to use those 3 pegs on the bottom. Before we ever get to truck mode though, the paint apps on this guy, I think that they're pretty glorious, pretty close to the animation. I'm going to say, honestly, 9.75. I don't think there's much more that could have been done. Yes, maybe some energon detailing or some such. Maybe I'm being generous by saying 9.75. Maybe it's more like a 9, but either way, compared to other iterations of the Transformers Prime Ultra Magnus that came out, I think that this guy is perhaps the most accurate. That includes the Platinum Edition one based on the Weaponizer Optimus Prime, because I felt like that was too dark for the animation that we had on the show. I felt like on the show he looked like this, so I'm saying 9.75. What about the articulation? Well, I wanted to get in good and close for that. We have a head that can go left and right. Not a lot, but a little bit. It can't really look up or down. The arms, they can go all the way around. These shoulder pieces, these pads, they can move. This piece can go up or down. We have elbows to 90 degrees. We do have a bicep swivel. We have wrists that can go up like this for transformation, but hey, they go up. Do we have a rotation? We don't have a rotation. Do we have a waist? We don't seem to have a waist. We have legs that can go forward about that far. They can go back only about that far. We have a thigh swivel that's kind of tight but effective nevertheless. We have a knee to over 90 degrees. We have ankle tilt, really because of transformation, but it's there. And the ankles can go forward and back around ball joints. Though that does make the standing a little bit precarious at times. It's all there, really, except for the waist. And maybe a bit of the head limitation, maybe. But besides that, it's pretty much all there. The legs at the hips, they could move a little bit more forward and back. By the way, I forgot to do this, but he can do splits to the side about that far. It's not bad. 8.5. 8.5. He was getting a 9.75. 8.5. He's still scoring well. He's still just over a 9. What about the conversion? Well, the conversion is interesting for this guy and kind of complicated, to be perfectly honest with you. You know me, I like to do the easy stuff first, but there's not really much easy on this guy, to be perfectly honest. So, I guess we'll come to the back here and we're going to bring those pieces down. These pieces are going to come up and kind of help guide us a little bit later on. The arms are going to become his hood and the grill is behind his head. So it seems kind of almost impossible to happen. That being said, the legs, I guess you can, if you want, you can get these put together now. You take the foot and you turn it in and you bring it up inside the leg. Take the foot and turn it in and bring it up inside the leg. And then the 2 feet pegged together. If my knees are straight. Like that. So we kind of really have the legs done because the only thing that's left to do there is to fold these up, which we can't really do yet anyway. Oh, and I guess we, we'll end up kind of sitting them down a bit, do we? I don't remember. We'll see. Oh no, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. Don't mind me. It's just been a while since I've done this guy. We pick off the chest piece and we bring it all the way down. And the whole head is going to fold into the body to bring up the front grill. Then we fold in the, I guess, little tummy piece here. And what's going to end up happening is this is going to come over like this. These arms, you're going to have to like alter them. We're going to bring this down. We're going to turn the arm for now. We're going to bring this down and we're going to turn the arm around for now. We're going to deal with these shoulder pieces next. You fold in the shoulder there. You take this whole piece, like shoulder pauldron piece, and there's a specific way it moves. If I can remember it now. There we go. You have to kind of pick it up, rotate it around, and then you can collapse it down again over the top. Now you probably saw me sort of fiddling with the hinge up here because really what you need to do is transform this piece the way I said, but to get it to fit down over the I guess roof, down over the bit of a like windshield version here, you have to move this whole hinge on the arm, which means you need to line up the entire arm and put the forearm in right here with the fist folded down like this and kind of get this whole side of the truck together. It's almost like one fluid motion. I'm going to try and show it on the other side. Hopefully I can show it on the other side. So over here we don't have that arm conversion done. The first step is to take the shoulder hinge and bring it to the back. So it comes in on the back. Then you'll notice that right here we have the top of that shoulder pylon, but here we have the top of the shoulder pylon here, and this dark blue piece becomes the roof part that goes out over the windshield. How do you deal with that? You need to rotate this piece the correct way, which means lifting it off and rotating it around like that. After you have that done, you can lift it up over. Make sure that you got that shoulder in all the way. But you still can't bring it down over the windshield because you need to now kind of angle this whole piece back. Here is, if I can show it now, here is the arm. And the arm will need to go turned in such a way, see if I can find it here now. There. That it's like this. This is the outside of, I guess, the side of the hood of the tractor trailer. You bring down the hand and you bring that in around the front. When you do that, you'll notice this piece is up, this piece is back. When you do that, you can take the blue armature back here and bring it right up over. And now these two roof sections, they can go clip together. The two hood sections, they can go clip together. Clip those together and bring those together and keep those up like that. Now, we have the grill down here and we have the rest of the truck here. You bring the whole thing back and the grill comes up over and tabs in, hiding the hands down right here. It is a bit of a complicated but ingenious set of steps in order to do this. I hope I've shown it clearly enough, but without bringing the sides of the truck up, this is how you're looking for it to be. This part here is part of the forearm. This is the bicep, and then this dark blue piece and this piece is the entire shoulder assembly turned around on a blue hinge in there. If you go to turn it the wrong way, you'll know. Don't force it because you'll break it. It really only turns around one way. Now that you have that much done, now it's kind of easy. You just take this whole side section and you bring it up. And there's a whole bunch of like pegs and whatnot to kind of make sure that this is in place. And of course there's a light blue piece here and there's a kind of a cutout on this piece here. And they should line up, they should be able to line up perfectly, like that. Same on the other side. Once you have everything pegged in like this, it's kind of a seamless truck and I dig it. What about these leg pieces? Well, just bring the legs forward there a little bit, fold these up and they go in under these sections here. Fold this back up and really boom, in the end, there you have Ultra Magnus in his truck mode. But we don't have that backpack put on yet. I will point it out to you now where it goes. We have, and I'll get these out of the way so we can see it. We have a peg here, or a peg hole here, here, and over here. That's where you're going to use the 3 pegs that I pointed out on the backpack earlier so that it looks like. So that in the absolute end, this is what you get, and I think it looks fantastic. It is a great truck. It looks like Ultra Magnus. It feels like Ultra Magnus. The transformation, it's not going to be fun for kids. They're going to struggle with those arms. For that reason, I would give it a 6. For me personally, I think it's genius. I give it a 10, so I'm going to split the difference and say it's an 8. He was getting, overall, he was getting, I believe, a 9. An 8. Overall, this is an 8.5. It's a great Ultra Magnus. It's fun. It's imposing. It seems like a leader. It seems like an Ultra Magnus. And what more could you ask from a figure that's, well, supposed to be Ultra Magnus? And here we are once again. So as mentioned, this is adapted from that Optimus Prime mold. And, you know, that's a fantastic figure. Great articulation. An interesting transformation. Maybe the arms are a little bit of a nuisance time to time, but a great look. I mean, this guy looks strong. That Optimus looks strong. They look great. The addition of kind of the jet backpack is cool. The Forge of Solus Prime, if nothing else, just to have a version of the Forge is awesome in and of itself, especially one that quite easily fits in any 5mm peg accommodating hand or port or whatever. There is a complexity to the guy where you look at him and you're probably not just going to figure out how he transforms. There's definitely a puzzle aspect to figuring out how this guy converts, especially around these arm shoulder pieces here. But there's also a charm to him in how well he moves, in how stunning he looks, even in the effectiveness of the paint applications. It's a strong figure, but while some people will love him, I can also see how some people would say, he's not fun because he's needlessly complicated. There's two sides to the coin here. From my opinion, I think he's great. Not perfect, but great. And if I'm going to do kind of a send-off to the Transformers Prime line, and by the way, I don't know if I'll ever look at another Transformers Prime figure. I guess it depends on if one comes my way or not. But for now, if I'm going to kind of give a send-off to the Transformers Prime line, wow, what a nice way to do it. Anyway, let me know what you think about this version of Ultra Magnus, or the Optimus mold for that matter. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you dislike it? You know, I always like to hear what you guys have to say. Again, I'm going to say please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously. And I very much look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit right here inside the videos.